Have you ever noticed how ChatGPT never finishes a sentence before it responds? If you notice, it just streams text along the way. Now, you might think that this is a CSS animation. Maybe they are just doing this to make their users look cool. But this could not be farther from the case. This isn't Framer Motion, GSAP, or any other animation library. But to understand why, we need to understand how the browser works. So this is how the browser works. Every single time you send a request, these three things happen. Number one, the browser calculates the total size of the request and how long the response would be. Then it stamps it on a header called content length. You may have seen this or you may have not seen this. Then what happens is that the browser counts down so it knows how long that download of the request will take exactly. So seeing this looks something like this. HTTP request OK, content length 4821. Now this worked fine until LLMs came along. But to us to know why does this break when it comes to large language models? Well, an LLM can't tell you its final size yet. It doesn't know how long each response will take because it uses one token to generate the next token and the next token to generate the next token. So it doesn't know how long the response would be. It could be 30 seconds, it could be 40 seconds. So what happens is that one token is generated, then the browser is waiting 15 to 40 seconds for the next token or how long the response would take. Now, what's happening here is that the browser doesn't know how long the response will take. It cannot calculate content header. So what happens is that your server could crash because 0 bytes reaches the server. So this is why LLMs break the standard browser request. And in order for us to bypass it, the browser has built something that we call chunked encoding. So we use transfer encoding chunked instead of content length. So this is how it works. By using transfer encoding chunked, what happens is that this is HTML's built-in response against content length. But more importantly, what happens is that this tells the browser that I don't know how long the final size will be of this request will be. Keep the connection open. So it tells the browser to keep the connection open. Then what happens is that there is no upfront byte count required and data just keeps moving as it's being generated. So let's look something like this. Every token gets its own delivery. So the model generates its first token. The server wraps it in a tiny packet. It sends it down the wire and the UI updates instantly. So in this model, there is no room for CSS animations.